Hi, today I'm going to do my review on the XT660Z Tenere. This is a 2009 model, pretty standard. Get my glove here. Apart from the center stand and the uprated fork springs I put on the bike, and the rear shock spring as well. What else is on the bike? I have a battery tender, 12 volt charger I put on it for my GPS, but that's pretty much it. Oh, the front grille on the light, which was an add-on when I got it. So I have this bike about 4 months, and this is my second Tenere. I liked the last one that much, I said I'd buy another one, which very rarely happens because I like riding all bikes. I've been lucky enough to have ridden quite a few bikes in the last 5 or 6 years, and all sorts of different bikes, from the ZZR 1200, RT 1150, BMW, ST3S, Ducati, Varadero, Pan-European, TDMs. So I have some experience riding different styles of bikes. I like to look at this bike when I seen it first in the magazines, and I thought it was a cracking looking, very modern, up to date looking machine, and it's proved to be a fantastic all-rounder, really has. What can I tell you about it, what it's like to live with? Well, it has a nice upright riding position. The seat height's about 895, it's probably 900 at the minute with the uprated springs. I'm 5'9" and I can manage it okay, no problem. It's a little bit taller, but as you can see on these roads, the uprated springs have made all the difference. The dive isn't as severe on the front with the Hyper Pros in the front, and I seem to be setting up that little bit higher, like I said, on the bike, and I like that. I like to have a commanding view over traffic, and on this I like to be able to look over the hedges, which is also handy for peering across hedge tops on bends and stuff, especially this time of the year for tractors and combines, because there's a lot of them on the roads this time of the year. So 55 miles to the gallon I would say this bike is doing, thereabouts. There wouldn't be a whole lot in it at that. Probably get more out of it too, if you drove it like it wasn't stolen. I don't hammer this bike because it has to take me on a long trip at some stage this year, and that's specifically why I bought the bike. My partner has her own bike now, so I don't need a big 1000cc plus sports tour or touring bike. I'm back on a bike and I like to ride myself. The XT has been around for donkey's years. I can remember my first seeing an XT. I think Austin Vince and his Mundo Enduro crew went round the world on XT 600s. I think there could have been 500s, but I think there were 600s. And I just loved the whole traily bike thing, and I still do. But I suppose if you're going long distance and you're doing a lot of travelling abroad, and you're going to bring this bike, we'll say, to Iran or Mongolia or somewhere like that, you want a bike that is simple at its core, especially to work on. And you know, this bike doesn't have ABS. It doesn't have traction control. It doesn't even have a gear indicator. But I don't mind, because if you're in the wrong gear on this, it won't be long about telling you. Especially if you're up in too high a gear. It'll chug along. It has definitely got the tractor factor. But I like that. I really like that. So, while there are much more advanced motorcycles out there, you will pay for the privilege of rider aids. The brakes on this bike are exceptional, great stopping power, and the rear brake locks up pretty quick. But you're going to want that for if you're doing your off-road, and I'm not an off-road guy. You know, I did off-road 3 or 4 times when it was, 20 years ago, and I liked it. I just my motorcycling career has progressed in a different direction. Where to go? We'll go right. The suspension setup has transformed the steering of the bike. It handles much more stably on the roads, and it also it holds its line really, really well in the corners. I have Conti Track Trail 2 tyres on the bike, which are road bias tyres, and like I said, I don't do off-road. I don't do 80-20 or 50-50 on-road, off-road. I just don't. They claim that you can do 80-20, but I don't want to do that. That's why. And I find them extremely grippy, and I'm very happy with the performance of the tyre. So, 2-up. It's not really a 2-up bike. Yeah, I mean, I've had somebody on the back of it, but it's it's not, the engine power isn't there. Now maybe the new XT660Z, when it comes out, which is supposedly next year. I was talking to somebody from Yamaha a couple of weeks ago, and they told me that they're still working on the emissions, so they're probably still designing a catalytic converter that copes with the EU emission laws. But that comes from the engine, and that comes from the MT-07, which has been pretty well received. Nice bike, makes a nice sound. I can only imagine with an Acro twin pipes on the back of it would sound pretty cool. I have standard cans on this because I have no need. They're underslung underneath the seat, which is, by the way, a very comfortable seat. It's not a straight seat, it has a dip in it, so you can't really move forwards or backwards on it. But I can live with that. You can buy an Airhawk, or you can buy an equivalent on eBay or at your local motorcycle store, and it will make a difference, But I find with all these things that on long journeys, it might give you, we'll say, a half an hour extra, but at the end of the day, there's nothing like stopping, getting off the bike, walking around, have a cup of coffee, get your concentration back and your focus back for riding your motorcycle safely. The mirrors do a good job. They're pretty good. They remind me of the TDM 900 mirrors, and I'd say they probably are. There's a bit of vibration over about 4,500 revs, but I can live with that. I don't have a problem. Doesn't have shaft drive, but a chain oiler from any manufacturer will prolong the life of your chain by about 15,000 miles. I oil it regularly, and I will be getting a chain oiler for it before I go away. But to explore Ireland in a different way, you couldn't do it better on one of these for the back roads. And here comes my next review. The Honda CRF 250 Rally.